here's my ranking of all 6 Insidious films. In last place, we have Insidious: The Last Key. This is an absolute snooze fest of a movie that just feels like you're watching characters sleepwalk through scenes and have the cheapest jump scares pop up behind them. The villain is extremely boring and forgettable. I'm not even sure why the movie is called The Last Key, because the only key in the movie is like the demon's hand, which has keys on it, but there isn't like a last one or anything. Coming up in 5th place is Insidious: The Red Door. This movie actually started out pretty good by reintroducing us to the Lamberts, seeing where they are about 10 years later, and there's a pretty great emotional scene between Dalton and Josh in a dorm room that really worked for me, but everything after that is just extremely boring because we're just watching these characters solve a mystery of what happened to them almost a decade ago, but we, the audience, already knows what happened to them because it was just the second movie. So we're just watching characters find out information that we already know in the most boring way possible, and then the climax just feels extremely anticlimactic. The way that they defeat the demon is really stupid, and I just really hated this movie. In 4th place, we have Insidious Chapter 3, and the first half of this movie is actually pretty decent. It has some really good scares, a couple that got my heart racing a lot, but in the back half, it just gets extremely goofy with Elise literally punching demons in the further, and the plot just completely falls apart. In 3rd place, we have Insidious Chapter 2. Now, this movie's kind of like a tale of two halves, but because on one hand, it is a very satisfying follow-up to the original film, fleshing out that legendary cliffhanger, and Patrick Wilson delivers an absolutely outstanding performance as this possessed version of Josh. But on the other hand, there's a lot of scenes of just characters wandering around, discovering the answers to a really boring mystery that doesn't really go anywhere. It's very frustrating because there are a lot of really good things in this movie, but there are also a lot of stuff that just feel like it's retreading the original and just exploring a really boring mystery. Our runner-up is actually Insidious: Out of the Further. I really liked the first half of this movie. It had some great scares, some really creatively directed sequences, and a pretty fantastic opening 5 minutes. But the movie falls apart in the end with an extremely anticlimactic finale that comes across as more goofy than actually scary. But coming in 1st place is the original Insidious film. Even though its plot is fairly generic and predictable, it somehow manages to be extremely scary with highly effective jump scares in a legitimately interesting world that you just want to see more of. Even though it still is pretty predictable, it's still a very enjoyable horror film and one I will be rewatching for years to come.